Hello everyone. In this video we are going to look at the trend in terms of the ionic radius. Now when you talk about ionic radius, right, so ion would mean what? So if a neutral atom is losing electrons, it would be forming cation. So loss of electrons will lead to the formation of cation, which will be positively charged, net, and gain of electrons would lead to the formation of the anion. So anion will be negatively charged. So we are going to look at the trend in terms of the ionic radius. Now if you talk about a cation, when the cation is formed, so cation is what? Positively charged ion. When it is formed, what would happen? Say for example, we will talk about, let us assume the magnesium. Okay, so magnesium is there, magnesium nucleus, and magnesium will have 2 electrons in the first orbit. It will be having 8 electrons in the second orbit, and it will be having 2 electrons in the third orbit. Okay, so this is the electronic configuration of magnesium, which is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. So overall second orbit we have 8 electrons. Okay, now if the magnesium loses 1 electron, of course we know that magnesium in order to form stable arrangement, it will be losing 2 electrons. But if magnesium, let's say for example, before losing 2 electrons, it has to first lose 1 electron and then lose the second electron, right? So if magnesium loses 1 electron, what it is going to form? It will be forming magnesium plus. So look at this, what is going to happen? Magnesium plus as well as magnesium, right, both of them will have 12 protons inside the nucleus. The number of protons will be what? 12. But what about the electrons count? Look at this. First orbit it will be 2, second orbit it will be 8, and third orbit will be having only 1 electron. So what would happen whenever there is a formation of an cation? The number of positive charges on the nucleus will be exceeding the number of electrons. So which means what? Previously if 12 protons are influencing 12 electrons, right, now what is happening? 12 protons are influencing only 11 electrons. So as a result, what happens? The remaining electrons, right, will be attracted more strongly by the nucleus. So this is what we will also talk in terms of the effective nuclear charge. Since the number of electrons is getting reduced, right, each electron will be now under more influence of nucleus. As a result, the outer orbit or the outer shell will be pulled more strongly by the nucleus. So which means what? The size is going to be reduced. So whenever we talk about a positive ion, right, always it will be smaller than the corresponding atom. And not just that, more the number of electrons we remove, the size is going to become that much smaller. Let us say for example, we will remove 2 electrons, and that forms what? Magnesium 2 plus. Now magnesium 2 plus, it is a different story. Why? Because it will have 2 electrons in the first orbit and 8 electrons in the second orbit. That's it. Because after losing the second electron, right, the third orbit will fully vanish. There will no longer be a third orbit. Now we see that the size is going to be significantly reduced, because now it is only having 2 shells. But even otherwise, whenever we are removing, let us talk about the case of the aluminum. Okay, so if you look at aluminum atom, that will be more in terms of size than the aluminum plus, which will be more than aluminum 2 plus, which will be more than aluminum 3 plus, because after removal of every 1 electron, right, what is going to happen? The effective nuclear charge on the electrons will be increasing, thereby the size is going to be reduced. So this is how we look at the size of the cation. So always the size of cation will be less than the respective atom, and more the charge on the cation, or more number of electrons it is losing, means the size is going to be reduced that much. Talking about the anion, so anions are what? Negatively charged ions. So when anion is formed, or negative charged ion is formed, what would happen is we will be adding 1 or more electrons to the respective atom. That is how we will be forming the anion, isn't it? Okay, now when an anion is formed, we will let's say for example take the case of fluorine. So fluorine will have the nucleus, and there will be 2 electrons in the first orbit, and there will be 7 electrons in the second orbit. Okay, so that is the fluorine arrangement. Okay, so what is it? 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. So overall we'll have 7 electrons in the second orbit and 2 electrons in the first orbit. Now when fluorine is gaining 1 electron, it will be having 8 electrons in the second orbit or the valence shell. Now what is happening is the number of electrons is increasing. So if normally in case of fluorine, right, what is the atomic number? 9, isn't it? So 9 protons will be influencing 9 electrons. But in case of F minus ion, what is happening? Same 9 protons now are influencing 10 electrons. Okay, so what we will say is the effective nuclear charge, the influence of nucleus on every electron will be reduced. And we can also try and understand this in this way. Like, you know, in case of fluorine, if there are 7 electrons, F minus is getting 8 electrons. So there are going to be repulsions among the electrons because we added 1 electron, right? So what happens is they will try to slightly readjust their position in order to overcome the repulsions. Means what? If these 8 electrons have to overcome the repulsions, means they will slightly readjust. Okay, they will try to move little bit farther from each other, because how they will reduce the repulsions, they will try to move little bit farther from each other. Means what? The size is going to be relatively higher. So the size of F minus will be relatively higher than the size of the fluorine. So the electron cloud, we'll say, it will be expanding, and the size of negative ion will be always more than that of the atom. Okay, not only that, more the number of electrons it is gaining, the size is going to be that much increasing. Which means what? If you talk about see, oxygen, that will be less than O minus, it will be less than O2 minus, like that. So more the number of electrons a particular atom is gaining, the size is going to be increasing that much. Here what is the reason? We can say that effective nuclear charge, the influence of nucleus on electrons, will be decreasing, and also the incoming electrons will result in what? Repulsions. So the electron cloud will try to expand. Okay, so if you are trying to talk in terms of the quantum mechanical model. Now just to summarize, what is the observation? If you have any element here, right, it is forming cation, means size of the cation will be less. If it is forming anion, means size of the anion will be more than the respective atom itself. Okay, we'll look at some trends in terms of the ionic radius. So we talked about now how the atomic radius will change when we move in a group. So as we go down a group, right, I mean any group we can take. Let's say for example we are considering the halogens. What are the halogens? Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. Okay, of course we'll prominently look at the fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. As we go down the group, what happens? The atomic radius will be increasing. So this is the trend we have in terms of the atomic radius. Why? Because we are adding more number of shells, isn't it? Now similarly, when we talk about the size of ion in a group, because one of the things about elements in a group is they will form ions of same valency, isn't it? So if you look at F minus, Cl minus, Br minus, I minus, right, what is going to be the ionic radius comparison? The ionic radius also will be increasing. Why? Because here also what do we see? The shells will still keep increasing. Okay, so similarly when we talk about the oxygen group or the chalcogens, so O2 minus will be less than, sulfide ion will be less than, selenium 2 minus less than tellurium. Okay, similarly if we talk about the first group elements, okay, here we are of course looking at hydrogen also, but hydrogen strictly is not a part of the first group. Okay, so as we go down the group, what happens? We can see lithium will be less than sodium, less than potassium, less than rubidium, less than cesium. Similarly second group, right, beryllium will be, beryllium 2 plus will be less than, magnesium 2 plus less than, calcium 2 plus less than, strontium 2 plus less than, barium less than radium. So as you go down the group, ionic radius will increase. Okay, all the elements of the group, here we are considering that they will have the same valency. Okay, and whether we talk about the comparison in terms of the anions, that will be happening for the non-metals, or comparison of the radius for the metals, which will be the cation comparison, right, both will have the same trend. The other one that we have talked about is if the charge of the cation is increasing for the same element. So if you talk about the same element, right, as the charge is increasing, what it means? It means that we are losing more electrons. As a result, what happens? The effective nuclear charge, as a result, the effective nuclear charge will be increasing. So we talked about it, right? Like say for example, when Mg plus is formed, it is like what? 12 protons are influencing 11 electrons. When Mg2 plus is formed, what it means? It is like 12 protons are now influencing just 10 electrons. So as the charge is increasing, the ionic radius is going to decrease, which means what? If you are talking about the iron, right, iron can form two types of ions, Fe2 plus ferrous, and Fe3 plus is what? Ferric. So ferrous will be more in terms of, ferrous ion will be more in terms of size than ferric. Okay. Similarly, titanium 2 plus will be more than titanium 3 plus, will be more than titanium 4 plus, because the transition elements, right, they can form multiple oxidation states. Okay, so what is oxidation state? We will be learning about it in chemical bonding as well as the redox reaction chapter. So generally here we can take it as what? The charge. Okay, similarly if you look at manganese, right, manganese 2 plus will be more than manganese 4 plus, will be more than manganese 7 plus. So more the number of electrons lost by the atom, the size is going to decrease by that much more. Okay, and when it comes to the anion, right, as the charge on the anion increases, the ionic radius will be increasing. Why? Because we talked about this example already. So if you have O minus means what? Normally look at oxygen atom. Oxygen atom, what is the atomic number? 8. So which means what? 8 protons are influencing 8 electrons. O minus means 8 protons are influencing 9 electrons. O2 minus means what? 8 protons are influencing 10 electrons. So the influence of, effective influence, right, we can say, will be what? Decreasing, because the electrons are increasing. And also one more factor is what? The extra electrons added, they will cause the electron cloud to expand because of the repulsions in that valence orbit, right? They will try to occupy more space around the nucleus. As a result, the orbit size will be slightly increasing. Okay, so O2 minus will be more than O minus. Similarly, S2 minus will be more than S minus. Okay, so this is about the comparison in terms of the anion sizes based on the charge. Now the other important trend which is most sought after when it comes to competitive examinations, like we get a lot of questions on the comparison of radius among the isoelectronic species. Now, what are isoelectronic species? These are the species having same number of electrons. Like in the structure of atom chapter, right, we'll talk about hydrogen like species. We'll talk about what? Hydrogen like species, isn't it? So what do you mean by hydrogen like species? Species which will have just one electron. What are those? Helium plus, lithium 2 plus, beryllium 3 plus, like that. All of them will be having just one electron, just like hydrogen. Okay, so generalizing is what? Isoelectronic species. If you have isoelectronic species, look at this, this is an important part. As the number of protons increases, because isoelectronic species, they will have the same number of electrons. So as the number of protons increases, means what? The nuclear charge. So as the nuclear charge is increasing, the radius of the ion decreases. Why? Because nuclear charge is more, means what? The influence of the nucleus on the electrons will be higher, which means what? The electrons will be pulled inwards. Just to look at this comparison, right? So what is this? All these are what? Isoelectronic species. Look at it. Carbon 4 minus means what? Carbon is already having 6 electrons. Carbon 4 minus means gaining 4 electrons, means 10. What about N3 minus? Nitrogen 7 electrons. 3 minus means it becomes 10 electrons. O2 minus, oxygen 8 electrons. Gaining 2 electrons means it becomes 10. F minus, already 9 electrons. Gaining 1 means it becomes 10. Na plus, sodium 11 electrons. Atomic number of sodium is what? 11. Na plus means losing 1, it becomes 10. Magnesium, what is the atomic number? 12. Losing 2, because it is forming Mg2 plus, means it becomes 10. Aluminium, atomic number 13. Losing 3, it also becomes what? 10 electrons. So all of them have the same number of electrons. That is why we call them as what? Isoelectronic species. Now look at the nuclear power. So carbon, right, because when we are forming ions, nucleus will not be disturbed. The neutrons count and protons count inside the nucleus will not be disturbed. Only the change will be in the electrons count, isn't it? Whether we form the cation or we form the anion. Now carbon nucleus will have how many protons? 6 protons. Nitrogen 7 protons. Oxygen 8 protons. Fluorine 9 protons. Sodium 11 protons. Magnesium 12 protons. Aluminium 13 protons. So when the nuclear power is more, so in case of Al3+, it is like what? 13 protons are influencing 10 electrons. Whereas the other extreme, you see, carbon 4 minus, right? Just 6 protons are trying to influence 10 electrons, which means what? Wherever the nuclear power is high, the electrons will be pulled that much more close to the nucleus, which means what? Here in case of the aluminum, the size will be what? Least. In case of carbon 4 minus, the size will be what? Highest. So what is the comparison trend? This is an important point. So for the isoelectronic species, what is it? Nuclear power or nuclear charge, whatever we call it. Nuclear charge high means what? The radius is going to be less. Okay, so wherever the nuclear power is highest, that radius will be least. That is how we will have to look at it. So whenever we have a question on the isoelectronic species, right, what we have to do? We have to just arrange all of them as per the nuclear power, because we know very well that they will have the same number of electrons. That is out of question. Now the only thing is what? We have to look at the nuclear power. As the nuclear power is increasing, radius is going to be decreasing. Here you can see clearly, when we move from carbon 4 minus to aluminum 3 plus, right, nuclear power is gradually increasing from 6 to 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is not there because we have skipped the neon. Okay. Then 11, then 12, then 13. Nuclear power is gradually increasing step by step, which means what? The radius is going to be decreasing. So that is the order. So what is the order? Carbon 4 minus will be higher in size than N3 minus, than O2 minus, than F minus, than Na plus, than Mg2 plus, than Al3 plus. So this one is important. We have to keep this in mind, because this is where we usually get a lot of questions in the competitive examinations. Okay. Now we will just check our understanding by attempting these questions. So what is this question? Which of the following has largest size? So whenever we have, no questions like this, right? First thing that we need to check is, here these are not the ions or species formed from the same element, isn't it? So one is H minus, other is helium, other is lithium plus, other is beryllium 2 plus. Then the thing that we need to do is we will have to check whether these are isoelectronic species or not. So whenever we have different elements and the species formed from that given, right, we'll have to first checkpoint. Okay, we may, in sometimes JE mains or JE advanced, we may have even questions where the isoelectronic species relation is not valid. Okay, but the first thing that we need to check is what? Look at whether they are isoelectronic species or not. Okay, so when we look at the species given to us, right, what is H minus? Means hydrogen has gained 1 electron, which means it will have 2 electrons. Helium means what? 2 electrons. Lithium plus means what? Lithium, what is atomic number? 3. Lithium plus means losing 1, so it will have 2 electrons. Beryllium 2 plus, what is beryllium atomic number? 4. Losing 2 means it will be 2. So all of them are what? Isoelectronic species. Now remember the rule. Isoelectronic species means we have to look at the nuclear power, isn't it? So for the hydrogen, what is the nuclear power? 1 proton. Nuclear power means we are only talking about the protons. Why not neutrons? Because neutrons are neutral species. They will not be getting into the electrostatic interactions. So the force between positive charge and negative charge, what do we call it as? We will call it as what? Electrostatic forces. Okay, you'll study more about this in physics +2, but here when we are trying to understand the interaction between the nucleus and electrons, we have to look at the electrostatic forces. Okay, so helium, what is the nuclear power? 2 protons. Lithium, what is the nuclear power? 3 protons. Beryllium, what is the nuclear power? 4 protons. Now you see, in which case the nuclear power is least, because what they're asking largest size. Remember, nuclear power highest means what? Radius will be least. Nuclear power least means what? Radius will be highest, isn't it? So we have to look for where the nuclear power is least. Where the nuclear power is least, it is least in the case of H minus, means the highest size or the largest size is going to be what? H minus ion. Okay, so this is about how do we compare the size of the isoelectronic species. Now, as I said, sometimes we may not have the species following as per this isoelectronic arrangement. Okay, the condition of isoelectronic species might not be satisfied. In that case, what we have to do, we have to then look at the respective element size comparison. So if they are not fitting into this isoelectronic bracket, right, then what we have to do, what is the approach? Maybe in the work session we will try to take some more questions like that. What is the approach? We will have to look at the comparison of size of respective atoms. We'll have to look at the comparison of size of respective atoms followed by the corresponding anion or cation. Okay, so we'll have to look at, because we know, right, when we go down a group, size will be increasing for the respective atoms. Left to right, size will be decreasing. We look at the comparison of the respective atoms and then try to relate it to the size of the anion or the cation formed from that particular element. Okay, so that is how we have to attempt those questions if we are not having the isoelectronic species. Okay, now look at this one. Which of the following is a wrong order regarding the radius? Okay, so I mean, when you look at this question, right, so here if you see the option 1 and option 2, same species, they are talking about different order, isn't it? So look at this carefully. Same species, beryllium 2 plus, beryllium 2 plus, boron 3 plus, boron 3 plus, lithium plus, lithium plus. Same species, they are talking about different order, which means what? One of them only will be correct, right? Which means, the answer for this will be either 1 or 2, the wrong order, because remember what we are looking for, wrong order. We can check the others. Look at it. No, option 3 is what? F minus, O2 minus, N3 minus. All of them are isoelectronic species. They will have same number of 10 electrons. But what about the nuclear power? F minus is what? 9 protons. O2 minus is 8 protons. And of course, the N3 minus is 7 protons. Okay. Now, what is the comparison? When the nuclear power is more, size will be less. So look at this, where the nuclear power is more, 9 protons. F minus, the nuclear power is more, size will be less. So look at this, F minus will be less than, O2 minus less than, N3 minus. So this is correct. Option 3 is correct. That is the correct trend. What about option 4? Boron 3 plus, gallium 3 plus, aluminum 3 plus. Okay. So what about the normal observation that we have as we go down a group? The radius will be increasing. As you go down the group, the radius will be what? Increasing. But in the case of the 13th group, we have the anomaly. What is the anomaly? The radius comparison between the aluminum and gallium. Why it comes? Because before gallium, right? So boron, aluminum, gallium. We in fact discussed about it in the radius trend. So before gallium, we are filling 13th group comes where? Just after 12th group, right? Up to 12th group, we have the transition elements, D block elements. Okay, we have filled 10 electrons into the 3D level, which will be having a poor shielding effect. What they will be having? They will have a poor shielding effect. As a result, what happens is the outermost electrons will come under greater influence of the nucleus. So the size, normally what we expect is that the size of the elements, when you go down a group, it will be increasing, but the size of gallium, right, will be in fact almost comparable to the aluminum. Okay, why? Because of the poor shielding effect of the 10 electrons that we are entering into the 3D level, right? The outermost electrons will come under more influence of the nucleus. Okay, so as a result, what happens? The size of gallium will be almost comparable to the aluminum. Okay, and when it comes to the trivalent ions, right, what is the observed trend is that the boron 3 plus, generally what we expect is it will be increasing. Okay, so what we normally expect, boron 3 plus will be less than aluminum 3 plus, less than gallium, isn't it? That is how the group elements are. But because of this poor shielding effect of the 3D electrons, right, The observed trend is boron 3 plus will be less than gallium 3 plus less than aluminum 3 plus. Okay, so this is in fact also a correct order. Option 4 is also what? Correct. Okay, now if like this is how sometimes, right, when they are framing the questions, they would even try to give us some kind of an scope to overcome, even if we are not certain in terms of the order of the 13th group trivalent ions. We will be able to attempt and answer these kind of questions by making some common observation. Okay, but if we are aware of this trend, exceptional trend in case of the 13th group that comes in both the atomic radius as well as the ionic radius, we will be able to straight away say that okay, the option 4 is correct one, which is not the wrong order, because we are looking for the wrong order. And already we made an observation, right? When you look at option 1 and option 2, clearly what we are able to see, we are able to see that one of them will be the wrong order, because same species we are committing two different types of order. It can't be, it should be either 1 or 2, isn't it? Now observe them. What is this lithium plus means? Lithium is having 3 electrons. Lithium plus means losing 1, it becomes 2. What about beryllium 2 plus? Beryllium is having 4 electrons. 2 plus means it will have 2 electrons. What about boron 3 plus? Boron has got 5 electrons. Losing 3 means it will become 2, which means what? All of them are isoelectronic species. Okay. Now what about the nuclear power? Because when we talk about the isoelectronic species comparison, we have to look at the nuclear power, right? So what about the lithium nuclear power? It is the 3 protons. Beryllium, it is 4 protons, because protons will not be disturbed at all. Okay. What about boron? 5 protons. Now what is the radius comparison trend when it comes to isoelectronic species? Wherever the nuclear power is more, that will have the least radius. Wherever the nuclear power is less, so this will be the highest, this will be the least. Now we get our trend. What is it? Boron 3 plus will be less than, beryllium 2 plus will be less than lithium plus. Lithium plus will be highest. Okay, so which means 2, option 2, the trend you are seeing, right? What is it? Boron 3 plus less than, beryllium 2 plus less than, lithium plus. This is in fact correct order. So what is the wrong one? It is option 1. That is the wrong order in terms of the radius comparison. Okay, so this is how we can answer. As I said, sometimes questions, even if we are not very much thorough in terms of the exceptions, because as I said, always we have to of course focus on the exceptional cases, because that is where they will tend to frame the questions. Okay, so this is about the ionic radius comparisons, and in this, right, one of the very important thing that we need to keep in mind is the trend in terms of the isoelectronic species radius comparison. Okay, we will see in the next part video.